Hi ma'am, I'm Jimel Bagyo. I'm here to report the organizational units of the police organization. So, first is the functional unit. Functional unit is divided into 4. The bureau, division, section, and unit. So, let's give an example by explaining them. So, functional unit, gagamitin natin si DILG. DILG is a department, and ang sinasabi dito that functional unit is divided into bureau. Bureau is a largest organic functional unit within a large department comprises of several divisions. DILG is the department and subdivided siya sa tri-bureau. The tri-bureau of DILG is the PNP, BGMP, and BFP. Yun ang tri-bureau. For example, yung kunin natin yung PNP as an example dun sa tri-bureau. O PNP, itong PNP ay may division siya which is a primary subdivision of a bureau, and yung division may section siya which functional unit within a division that is necessary for specialization. Then yung section may unit siya na which is functional group within a section or smallest functional group within an organization. Thank you, ma'am.
Good day, ma'am. I am Lowell J. Brasiliano, and I will going to discuss the number 2 territorial units. Letter A, post. A fixed point or location to which an officer is assigned for duty, such as a designated desk or office or an intersection or crosswalk from traffic duty. Malinaw nilang tinutukoy ang mga tungkulin at aksyon na ginawa ng mga tauhan. Kung ang focus ay mga control sa pag-access, mga protocol ng pagpapadala ng command center, mga patakaran ng bisita o iba pang disiplina, ang malinaw na dokumentado ng mga inaasahan ay kinakailangan nito. Letter B, route. A length of streets designated for patrol purposes, also called line beat. Ito ay upang regular na dumaan sa isang tinukoy na ruta o sa isang tinukoy na lugar upang mapanatili ang kaayusan at seguridad at sa mga dumadaan sa naturang ruta o lugar para sa layuning nito. Letter C, beat. An area assigned for patrol purposes, whether foot or motorized. Ito ay karaniwang nagpapatrolya ang mga pulis habang naglalakad o nagbibisikleta na nagbibigay ng higit na pakikipag-ugnayan sa pagitan ng pulis at mga miyembro ng komunidad. Letter D, sector. An area containing 2 or more beats, routes, or posts. Ang tungkulin ng sektor ay nagsisiguro ng proteksyon ng mga mamayan, mga tao sa kanilang teritoryo, mga organisasyon at mga institusyon laban sa mga banta sa kanilang kapakanan at sa kaunlaran ng kanilang mga komunidad. Letter E, the street. A geographical subdivision of a city for patrol purposes, usually with its own station. Ang district ay isang anyo ng division ng isang geographical na lugar na pinapatrolya ng isang puwersa ng pulisya, halimbawa, ang lungsod o ang kombinasyon ng mga parokya. Letter F. Area. A section or territorial division of a large city, each comprised of designated districts. Ito ay ang area naman ay upang kontrolin, ayusin o panatilihing maayos, lalo na bilang isang opisyal na tungkulin ng pulisya sa lugar upang masigurong maligtas ang mga mamayan.
Hi, I'm Michael Janasunson from Cream 3F. I'm here because I'm assigned to discuss kinds of organizational structures. Number 3, line and staff. Line and staff is a combination of the line and functional kind. Ito ay kombinasyon ng mga linya at functional na uri. It also combines the flow and information from the line structure with the staff departments that service, advise, and support them. Ito ay pinagsama-sama ang daloy ng impormasyon mula sa isang istruktura ng linya kasama ang mga departamento ng kawani na nagseserbisyo o nagpapayo at sumusuporta sa kanila. And also generally more formal in nature and has many departments. Note, the Philippine National Police follows the line and staff kind of organizational structure. Organizational chart. Organizational chart is an illustration in the form of a chart which represents an organizational structure. So, isa itong paglalarawan sa anyo ng isang chart na kumakatawan sa struktura ng mga organisasyon. And also the mechanical means of depicting by an arrangement of symbols the relationships that exist between individuals, groups, and functional relationships between groups and individuals, clearly defined to ensure accountability to compliance. Ang ito ay ang paraan ng paglalarawan sa pamamagitan ng pagsasaayos nito ng mga simbolo, ang mga ugnayang umiiral sa pagitan ng individual, grupo at ang functional na relasyon sa pagitan ng mga grupo na malinaw na tinutukoy upang matiyak ang pananagutan at pagsunod. Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. I am Glenn Clifford T. Andres. Today, I will be going to discuss to you about the kinds of organizational structure. So first is the line organizational. So it is the oldest and simplest kind, also called military, defined by its clear chain of command from the highest to the lowest and vice versa. Depicts the line functions of the organization, and orders or commands must come from the higher level of authority before it can be carried out, and it involves few departments. Next is example of line organizational. So for example, as we can see, the line organizational structure is one of the most basic and simplest type of organizational structure. Its authority is delegated from the top to bottom. In contrast to other structure, the chain of command is from the top, and each department has authority over its own department. So next is the functional organization. So it is the structure according to functions and specialized units It depicts staff functions of the organization. Responsibilities are divided among authorities who are all accountable to the authority above, and it is based on levels of hierarchy that include different departments under the direction of designated level. So example of functional organization here. So a functional structure divides an organization into departments based on their functions, with each department led by functional managers, and employees are divided into groups based on their rules. For example, as shown in this image, the organization is divided by various departments, and within those departments, they have employees who follow certain rules in this department. So the manager has experience in the rule that they supervise, which ensures that employees are using their skills effectively and aids the organization in attaining its objectives. So next is the line and staff organization. It is a combination of the line and functional kind, and it combines the flows of information from the line structure with the staff departments that service, advise, and support them, and generally more formal in nature and has many departments. So, for example, the PNP organizational structure is an excellent example of line and staff organization here. So both the line manager or the chief PNP and the staff have important role to play in a line and staff organization. So the authority in this structure flows. So this is the authority flows from the top to the bottom. In this example, the chief PNP has the authority to make all important organizational decision, and he is also accountable for this decision as well as the performance of his employees. So in this scenario, the staff is the expert. They have knowledge and expertise in their field, which they use to assist their line managers, and they serve as advisors to the organization So as you can see, the chief PNP or the line manager gives all the direction and has the authority to make decision for the staff in the PNP organizational structure, and the staff of the various departments as well as the leaders are the expert of their respective fields. And the staff also serve as an advisor or advises the chief PNP on his decision whether it benefits the entire organization or not. So next is the organizational chart. It is an illustration in the form of a chart which represents the organizational structure. So the mechanical means of depicting by an arrangement of symbol the relationship that exists between individuals, group, and functional relationship between groups and individuals clearly depend to ensure accountability and compliance. So for example of the organizational chart here. So an organizational chart is a visual representation of a company's internal structure that details the rules. Responsibilities, and relationship between individuals within the organization. So for example, in this case or this picture, the top person is the president. And the below the president is the department head of the company, and followed by the employees who work in the specific department. So the purpose of this organizational chart is to present or illustrate the relationship and chain of commands with the organization, employer names and titles, as well as the job or position of such people in the organization are depicted in boxes or circles within lines that connect them. People can gain a quick understanding of how the organization is designed by looking at the company organizational chart, its number of level, and where each employee fits within the organization. That's all. Thank you. The continuation of the report is provided by Mr. Agpawa.
I am Mark Anthony P. Agpawa. I will be discuss the organizational principles, the four primal conditions of an organization.
So the four primal conditions of an organization. First is authority, the supreme source of government for any particular organization. The right to exercise, to decide, and to command by virtue of rank and position. Sabi dito, authority, humans give us orders. Sila daw yung na gumagawa ng orders, nagbibigay ng orders para yung mga tao ay i-obey nila yung in-implement ng orders. Second is the mutual cooperation. An organization exists because it serves as a purpose. Mutual cooperation helps to bring those shared interests together productively without eliminating through overmanagement. Dito sa mutual cooperation naman, hindi natin masasabi na authority or organization or isang group kung walang mutual cooperation, kasi ang pinaka-importante sa isang grupo o sa isang organization ay mayroong cooperation. Hindi natin magagawa ang isang bagay na gusto natin gawin kung wala tayong cooperation. Next is doctrine. Doctrine provides for the organization's objectives. It provides the various actions, hence policies, procedures, rules, and regulations of the organization are based on the statement of doctrines. In the organization, or in the PNP, ethical doctrine serves as a constant reminder of the need of our police officers to stand as role models in the community, adhering always to the principle that public office is a public trust. So, sa organization daw o sa police, sa PNP, sila yung tumatayo as a role model sa ating komunidad. So, ganun din sa organization or sa isang grupo. So, gumawa tayo, tayo ang tumatayo bilang as a role model sa ating komunidad. Next is discipline. Comprising behavioral regulations. The police force has a discipline code called the Code of Professional Standards. So, ito rin ang pinaka-importante sa isang tao, sa isang organization, sa isang grupo, o bilang isang member ng PNP, na merong disiplina sa sarili, disiplina sa isang grupo. Kasi hindi natin magagawa ang isang bagay kapag wala tayong disiplina sa sarili o sa isang grupo. Hindi natin may i-implement ang gusto nating gawin ng mga tao kung wala tayong disiplina sa sarili o sa grupo. Yan lamang.
Elements of police organization. 1. Unity of command. Dictates that there should be one man commanding the unit to ensure uniformity in the execution of orders. This means each individual unit or situation should be under the control of only one direct unit supervisor. So, kailangan yung isang unit or each individual unit accountable siya sa isang supervisor lang. Dapat isa lang ang nagko-command sa kanila. This is based on the belief that an individual should be responsible to only one person at any given time and in any given situation. Mahirap pag sa isang grupo ay maraming leader or maraming nag-uutos, kailangan isa lang yung supervisor or yung nagte-take ng command. 2. Span of control. It is that the supervisor has a maximum person or subordinates that can effectively handle or manage. When we say subordinates, these are individuals who are lower rank compared to the superiors. Factors affecting the span of control. A. Leadership qualities of a supervisor. B. Nature of the job and work condition. C. Complexity of tasks. D. Education and skill of the employees. 3. Delegation of authority. Conferring of an amount of authority by a superior position to a lower level position. Delegate. A person sent or authorized to represent others. Ibig sabihin, siya yung nagbibigay ng authority or power. And when we say delegate, is a person who distribute or authorize the delegate. And when we say delegate, is a person who distribute or authorize the delegate. So the delegation of authority, it is a division of tasks, command among the officers of the various units. The authority that the chief delegated to an officer is not totally authority of the chief. Ibig sabihin, binibigyan niya lang ng some authority or part of the authority ni chief yung si delegate para gawin or i-perform yung specific function na meron si delegate. For example, si chief of police isa sa mga trabaho niya is to make report, gumawa ng mga written report about the activities in the police station. Therefore, hindi naman niya kailangan gawin lahat ng iyon dahil marami pa siyang other responsibilities. So, therefore, si chief of police, i-delegate niya yung trabaho na iyon. Creating reports, isa-isa sa mga subordinates niya. So, that is the delegation of authority giving power or task or division of task or authority.
4. Hierarchy of authority. The relationship between the superiors and subordinates serve as the framework for the flow of authority downward and obedience upward through the department. Hierarchy represent the formal relationship among superiors and subordinates in any given organization. Hierarchy of authority refers to the relationship between the superiors and subordinates. We know that as the rank in the PNP increases, there are few people who can be placed. Hierarchy, it is a triangle shape in the lower ones. The rank or the file is called many. That is 1,000. But when it comes to the general, you can see how many of them are there. But our chief PNP is only one, and he is the highest because he is the superior or authority. He can command and control of the people in the lower levels of an organization. 5. Specialization, the assignment of particular personnel to particular tasks. Kaya tinawag ni specialization because they have the assigning of particular personnel to particular tasks. Specialization of jobs, the designation of certain activities or tasks as one that must be performed in a highly technological, scientific, or precise manner. Areas of police specialization include undercover works, crime scene operation, legal advising, computer work, SWAT operation, and others. Due to specialization of jobs, like those in the field of PNP, because not all in the police can enter a task if they are not assigned, or not everyone can investigate. Because those people have a unit with a specific schooling, but porket police ka na, you can enter and investigate anytime. It's not like that, but because if you want to be an investigator, you must undergo specializing schooling for crime scene operation. So, each subordinates has a specialization job for designation tasks that they will be performed to the areas of organization. Next, specialization of people. The designation of particular person as having expertise in a specific area of work signifies the adaptation of an individual to the requirements through extensive training. Ultimate specialization of people. If the authority designation a person in a specific area of a work, that this person has knowledge specific to a field of work and may disabilities in a job ability may be resulted of experience, physical attributes, skill, interest of education, training, motivation, or others, adaptation among other factors.
Elements of police organization. Chain of command. The chain of command, sometimes called the scalar chain, is the formal line of authority, communication, and responsibility within an organization. The chain of command is usually depicted on an organizational chart, which identifies the superior and subordinate relationships in the organizational structure. According to classical organization theory, the organizational chart allows one to visualize the lines of authority and communication within an organizational structures and ensures clear assignment of duties and responsibilities. By utilizing the chain of command and its visible authority relationships, the principle of unity of command is maintained. Unity of command means that each subordinate reports to one and only one superior. So, chain of command. So, for example, ng chain of command ay ang drag on war ni Pangulong Duterte noong way back 2016 or 2017. So, bago pa makarating sa every provinces or municipalities ang information na may drag on war, ay inatasan muna ni Pangulong Duterte ang Secretary of Interior and Local Government hanggang sa PNP Chief at sa iba't ibang operating units ng ating bansa para sa kanilang particular task or responsibility. Ang instruction ng chain commander or chain of command ay dapat magsisimula sa pinakamataas na opisyal o ahensya. Kumbaga yung mga nasa higher rank or position ay sila ang unang makakaalam sa mga task nila na in-instruct ng Pangulo. At syempre, kapag alam na ng mga higher officials o mga assignment nila or ibinigay na task sa kanila ay syempre, di-disseminate na nila ito sa mga lower positions. Kumbaga magkakaroon sila ng meeting para mapag-usapan nila ang mga task na naatas sa kanila at mapagplanuhan nila ito ng maayos. At sabi dyan, superior and subordinate relationship. So meaning, ito ay tumutukoy sa mga pagkikipag-ugnayan sa pagitan ng organizational leaders and their subordinates, kung paano sila nagtutulungan upang makamit ang mga personal at organisasyonal na layunin. Ang pataas at pababang komunikasyon ay mahalaga para sa isang matagumpay na organisasyon dahil dito nagre-resulta kung ano ang kalalabasan ng task ng isang organisasyon, kung ito ba ay matagumpay o hindi. So, sabi dyan, unity command. So, ang mga followers subordinates ay magre-report or magre-relay lamang ng information sa iisang superior. For example, sa police organization, si detective officer ay magre-relay ng information kay sergeant. So, si sergeant ay sasabihin niya ito kay lieutenant. So, si lieutenant naman ay ire-relay niya ito pataas hanggang makarating ito sa deputy chief, and then si deputy chief ay ipaparating niya ang information kay chief of police na pinakamataas na opisyal sa police organization. So parang vice versa lang ang information na galing sa baba at may information rin na galing sa taas. The arrangement of police officers from top to bottom on the basis of rank or positions and authority. For example, Chief of Police, Deputy Chief, Police Captain, Police Lieutenant, Police Sergeant, Police Corporal, and Police Officer, Patrol Officer, Police or Police Detective. Importance of chain of command. Hierarchy is very important in any organization. From top to bottom, it defines and establishes the relationships in the organization, ensuring that everything works in a coherent and efficient way. So, ang hierarchy or a group that controls in organization ay napaka-importante dahil ito ang nagsisilbing daan para mabuo ang matatag na relasyon ng mga organisasyon in order for that organization to be more efficient and effective. Sa puntong ito natin makikita ang halaga ng chain of command, ngunit hindi lamang hierarchy ang nabubuo kundi ang malakasang puwersa ng decision-making power within the entity. Next, a correct chain of command ensures that every task, every job, and every department has a person who takes responsibility for their performance. This means that in every aspect of the chain of command, there is a person who are in charge in every task or department. It is their responsibility to ensure that all of the jobs is being performed very well. Next, command responsibility dictates that immediate commanders shall be responsible for the effective supervision and control of their personnel and unit. In international criminal law, the principle of command responsibility allows for commanders to be held criminally liable for crimes committed by their subordinates. This will apply if the commander was in a position to prevent crimes committed by forces under their effective control and knew or should have known that the crime would be committed. So, command responsibility means ito yung tinatawag na responsibilidad mo sa mga followers mo. So, ano nga ba yung mga ang responsibilidad mo sa mga subordinates mo? If you are the highest ranking officer. So, sabi dyan, command responsibility allows for commanders to be held criminally liable for crimes committed by their subordinates. Ibig sabihin, kung magkaroon man ng kasalanan yung subordinates mo, ay mayroon kang responsibility of your subordinates because you are the officer of that subordinate. The superior is the responsible for crimes committed by these subordinates. And for failing to prevent or punish them for committing it, meaning the highest official will be liable for the command responsibility. Next is the four types of determining factor of command responsibility. Number 1, operational command. The authority granted to a commander to assign missions or tasks to subordinate commanders, to deploy units, to reassign forces, and to retain or delegate operational and or tactical controls as may be deemed necessary. Operational commanders must exercise the full potential of their authority to prevent war crimes. Failure to supervise subordinates or non-assertive orders does not exonerate the commander. So, sa operational command, ibig sabihin, in operational command, if you are failed to exercise the full potential of their authority to prevent accident or war crimes, you are liable for the command responsibility. Number 2, tactical command. The detachment officer will have the direct command of the security personnel at the time of the incident. So, ibig sabihin, nakita mo na yung or na-caught in the act mo yung incident, but you are failed to prevent that. So, ibig sabihin, you are liable under the command of doctrine responsibility. Number 3, strategic command. Failure to implement strategies and methods to prevent those occurrence. So, dahil nag-fail kang mag-implement ng strategies to find some strategies to prevent yung incident, ay mayroon ka pa ring liability under the doctrine of command responsibility. And then the last, policy command. Failure to conceptualize and formulate policies, guidelines, and give direct orders. Or for example, as an officer, or ang basic example here is that you are already has main commander in one company, and then you make the policy and procedure right after you make the publishing position you need to supervise right after that na implement natin. However, if you fail to implement that policy and procedure, ibig sabihin magiging liable ka under the doctrine of responsibility.